Hi there, Nick Dutch back on the camera again one more time. Hi there, how the heck's it going? I have been requested to do a speech, or let's be really blunt, brutal and honest, and agree that this is not really a speech, it's more of a video here on the YouTube and also Daily Motion for those of you who are watching there, on the subject of the rapture and the tribulation, which is supposed to be happening Saturday, possibly in the afternoon, somewhere around tea time, which is of course a bit of a bugger for us English people, because it would be nice to have a last cup of tea on Saturday afternoon prior to all hell literally breaking loose. There's nothing worse in the whole wide world than having your cup of tea being, disturbed, your tea break, your time with family or friends, or, those little sacred moments in an English person's life when they enjoy those little pleasures. As far as am I personally going to be one of those saved by God, I don't think God's going to do any saving on that day. I don't think that there is going to be a tribulation. I am pretty convinced some people will be promoting the idea that the life after that date will in fact be the tribulation, despite the fact that nothing will have changed. And the fact that some people believe that there has been some kind of spiritual change means that we are now living in a new era, and Jesus is of course amongst us working wonders, although we can't actually see him. People will say these things because people say things. People make claims. It's always good to distrust anybody's claims. Or be skeptical of them, to the point whereby you can start to break down their ideas and try and see what they're saying in perspective and with a certain level of clarity and understanding. Sometimes they can be based upon a faulty premise. And sometimes they can be just plain bullshit. Let's think about the subject of fear-mongering, shall we? Just plain fear-mongering. Fear and terror. And what is fear-mongering? If you want to make someone afraid of the fact that there's going to be a tsunami about to hit their land, surely that's a good thing, because when they're in a state of fear they can do something about it, and they can make preparations, or they can run or steal a really fast vehicle. That will be a good thing, surely. But what if you're terrifying someone about something which isn't going to happen, such as the New World Order coming to slaughter everyone in death camps in pharmacies? Such as the end of the world happening this coming Saturday at around about tea time. That is wrong. That is dangerous. It is dangerous to people's psychology, and it's not helpful. If you want to frighten someone, make sure you're frightening them for the right reasons, and to do them some real, genuine good. Alright? And not good which is based upon some faulty premise. The world, funnily enough, is probably not going to come to an end. Our climate might change to the point one day whereby humans will not be able to live on the face of this planet, and I think that probably will happen too quickly for us to be able to evolve and adapt to it, or indeed to bioengineer our species so that we can actually adapt to a dramatic change in climate. And therefore there will probably be lots of innocent lives lost. But that's not going to happen this coming Saturday afternoon at about tea time. It might happen, or start to happen, within my lifetime. And I know full well that if I personally don't do what I consider to be right, then innocent individuals will die, either directly or indirectly, because of my actions. So that is why I am very in tune with, shall we say, environmental ideas. And I want to actually do good for other people and try and teach them little ways in which they can become carbon neutral or move towards carbon neutrality. But if I was to, let's say, turn around to people and say, if you don't start using wood gas stoves to cook each and every single meal from now onwards, including in the winter when there's 1 foot's worth of snow on the ground and the temperature is -20 or -30 degrees Celsius, I would actually be putting people in jeopardy. So I'm not going to do that. This coming Saturday at about tea time, I think the worst thing that could happen in the UK is it might get a bit windy and a bit rainy. But considering as my local Christian fellowship is actually holding a massive organised event on the Sunday afterwards, I don't think that the local Christians in my city actually give a shit about Howell camping, or indeed about his ideas about the tribulation and the end of the world which is coming. Are these views by Harold Camping the mainstream Christian values? Are they? No. They are being broadcast on some minority cable TV shows and of course on the internet, where fear and paranoia becomes magnified by the apparent volume of people who are talking about the same particular subject, when in fact what they could be doing is commenting on a certain video or videos, either positively or negatively. And there's something strange about YouTube in the fact that things which are negative or indeed undesirable tend to float to the surface. They get more in the way of views. Why is that? Because it's part of the circus of YouTube and part of the circus of the internet. There will be some damage done by people who believe that the tribulation or the end of the world or the rapture is going to happen this Saturday at tea time. But that will certainly not be representative of the vast majority of people who follow religious views and values. Some people will misrepresent this and say this is proof of the evils of religion. But it won't be. It'll be proof of the popularity of unpleasant ideas, undesirable ideas and frightening ideas here on the internet. That's all. We've got to start seeing this in perspective. It is more frightening if we were to deal with an issue which is more heavily in the popular consciousness, such as the large and growing number of people who disbelieve in evolution and might consider that it is better to vote based upon pseudoscience rather than by policy. Now that is a clear and present danger of sorts. But I would argue, the people who don't believe in evolution aren't necessarily as prepared to kill as those who do believe in the New World Order conspiracy theory. There's a whole spectrum of magnitude and importance and fear associated with the various different forces which are present in the political environments that we are living in. And this one particular end of the world cult is so bloody insignificant by comparison with the things that you, should actually be concerned about as to be laughable. So maybe I shouldn't be talking about Harold Camping and his end-of-the-world cult. Maybe I should be talking about you and why you are quite so concerned about this, when there is a much bigger and more pressing danger which is going to affect many more people much more quickly. And that's the environment. Focus your efforts on something that matters more.